US strikes have killed at least 3 people and wounded several others on Thursday near Ahvaz, a city in Iran's southwestern Khuzestan province. For more on this story, we are joined by Asia One Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Mallick live from Mashhad. Thank you, Anas. So what can you tell us about the latest US strikes on Iran?
Well, Leila, before I answer your question, the visuals that you see behind me, these are historical visuals behind me. What you see, it's a mammoth of a crowd, and it's begun before even the prelude to the funeral prayers have formally kicked in. Millions of mourners, literally millions of mourners. I'm standing about at a kilometer from the shrine of Imam Ali Raza and Imam Raza, and where in about 3 to 4 hours from now, in fact 4 hours from now is when the funeral proceedings will begin. The prelude to the funeral is to begin in about an hour, but even before that there are millions of mourners that are here in Mashhad. The temperatures have been soaring to about 36 degrees Celsius, and despite of that, the people remain undeterred. In the face of US aggression, as the people say, in the face of US strikes that have been coming on to Iran, last night we saw that at least 5 different locations were hit in the southern part of Iran, and in the face of that, yet people continue to show up, yet people continue to defy in a show of resilience, and they continue to defy all the threats. What we are given to understand is that an appropriate response from Iran has also been in place to Bahrain and Kuwait. But what we also understand, having spoken to officials on background, is that a more fearsome response will come in, but at a later point. Right now, the authorities are focused on this: the funeral of the second supreme leader of Iran, the funeral of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and that is what the focus for the Iranian authorities is. Laila?
And Anna, since you are in Mashhad right now, so how are the mourners reacting to US consecutive strikes on Iran?
Well, they're angry. That's the one word to put it. Angry, charged, calling for punishment or retribution, calling for avengement, avenging the killing of the late Ayatollah. You see red flags, you see the white flags, you see the flags of Hezbollah, you see the flags of the Axis of Resistance, as Iran calls it, and then you see the sloganeering being done. You see the sloganeering that essentially says that martyrdom or being killed in the name of the country, in the light of the country, is something that is their destiny. You see big speakers being played here, and through big speakers, these audios being played here. These are religious hymns that continue. People here, they remain very charged. These scenes are far different. I've covered the funeral in Tehran, I've covered the funeral in Qom, and now I'm here in Mashhad. I think what we're seeing right now is perhaps the biggest procession that I've covered in the past 7 days or so. The mourners here, they remain at one point, and they call for one thing, that is avenge or retribution. People who I've been talking to, they've been saying that the US attacks on Iran are not something unexpected. It was along the lines, or along the expected lines rather, because they were expecting the US to, quote, violate their part of the deal. And for the people of Tehran, they remain in a constant, or for the people of Iran, they remain in a constant phase of war, with a lull in between, primarily to do what they call the ceasefire. Yes.
And lastly, Anas, so can you walk us through the Khamenei funeral processions in Najaf and Karbala, and what preparations are underway in Mashhad for the burial?
Well, Mashhad's already full. I mean, what you see behind me, I'm about at a kilometer from the shrine where the burial and the funeral prayers are. And I mean, it would be safe to say that at about a 700 to 800 meter distance from the shrine itself, the roads continue to remain packed, with people continue to flock in at this point of time. So what we are given to understand is that with the funeral procession, because the number of people showing up was in so greater and huge numbers, that the entire planning had to be moved. The funeral prayers that were supposed to be held at 6 in the morning are now to be held at 2 in the afternoon. That's about 3:30 p.m. Pakistan time. That's what we're given to understand. So with the amount of mourners that were there, with the amount of mourners that had been there in that context, it was just not possible to move the mortal remains. The funeral in Najaf and Karbala were big, but I think the funeral today here in Mashhad, where he will be laid to rest as well, will outdo all the records when it comes to the attendance of the people paying their respects to the late Supreme Leader of Iran.